丢下任何孩子不管的。我们信任了你，而这正是我们后悔的。圣心底家他们的来信。
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
现玛格丽特·怀特小姐向蒙泰古登先生借款，牛津大街房租租金，伦敦大学学业贷款，信用贷款，汉密尔顿，莱蒂牌奢侈品珠宝。哦，有借贷关系哦。不是这样。似乎吵了一架。怀特的社会地及学业及社会地位完全取决蒙泰古邓恩的财富，还是没有吱啊。还不够线索，我们要回去调查那个报纸报道。应该没了吧？房子应该都收完了吧？哎，刚刚就是没有收完，刚刚跑来跑去。不过现在想想，以前的社会如果坐马车要社交隔离，其实也挺难的。那么近，像我刚刚跟华生坐的那个位置也太近了吧？1889年6月14日，89。圣心迪加俱乐部丑闻啊，他们是俱乐部哦，位于格罗夫纳大街48号，是一群信奉树王为神明的人的聚集地。他们宗旨是保护一些特别的植物。目前正处于行政调查阶段，该组织头目涉嫌私吞公款。该事件或移交司法部门调查。调查期间，有多方势力提出对调查此案的高度反对，并且借此抨击国家政府。事实上，这个私人组织出于保护自然界的目的，集结社会上许多具有影响力的人物，其中包括了许多政治上的要员。
Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to find out what they have against Montague Dunn.
去大本营，宗教秘密。
This place is beautiful, Holmes. Its atmosphere is remarkably soothing.
哇，这也太日式了吧！
Someone who could help us.
在英国有这么日式的建筑，这是不同款游戏吧？ 会不会又回到那个秘境探险了？还有钟哎，空海。这边叫我开题，诶，花盆碎片，破损的碎片。
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. A fragment of a flower pot.
盖子拿取，花盆。哎，这不是我们在那个植物园有看到的花盆吗？哎，那怎么变是皇家植物园的标志
The Kew Gardens symbol.
哦，看来是有必要先这边走一下，等等再进去哦。玩人家的锣。啊，钟能不能敲啊？我好想要看看。大梦什么马？大梦代码哦。火梦吗？还是大火啦？火梦代码。空海。什么叫火梦代码？那不是随便凑几个中文字进去的。大师 Master。
Good day to you, sir. My name is
I am exalting the sun. A while can you wait?
正
From
在
the
运
trace of
气。
elements and moreover from the quality of the ambient geotropism it depends. Therefore, please, mind my gravitropism. Its balance. Do not disturb.
Disturbed is most definitely the word.
There. Completed is the symbiosis. Welcome you are. To introduce myself, I am the Green Grand Mystic.
伟大
the
之旅。
Green Grand Mystic himself.
This is me. Who am I speaking to?
We are two gentlemen who are extremely interested in the vegetation philosophy that is advocated by this establishment.
Listening to you, I am.
看一下这个人，龙纹，家辉没有家辉，简手掌受伤，化学腐蚀，化学研究，指尖有碱。你知道皇家植
Do
物
you
园吗？
have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
他们不配。啊？请选择正确的答案。哇，选错了，不
Do
是
you
那个
have
吗？
friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
我刚刚不是有看到花盆破花盆的标志？靠腰，我刚刚好像也是选这个。再一次，
Do you have
None. Not worthy there.
啊？
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
哇，这个大师有难哦。我是不是一直按错啊？
Do you have friends at Kew Gardens?
None. Not worthy there.
哦，按到了。
Nevertheless, we have seen Kew Gardens flower pots in your yard. How could they happen to be there?
What? Our sacred place you permitted yourself to search?
这是亵渎神明。
No, really now. There was a theft of plants at Kew Gardens a matter of days ago. And we believe the pots we found here may be connected with it. Please tell us, were you involved?
No. Those plants were ours. They had stolen them from us.
How so?
Their director, Dump, I believe.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us 3 of our sisters for the exhibition at his green fly-infested gardens. But he never gave them back to us. Excuses and imbecility. So we went in and saved them.
I see. So, if you stole those rare plants from them, then it means... Ah, I get it. Bravo, Holmes. I think the case is solved.
No, we did not steal. We saved. Well, as a matter of fact, we were unable to find our 3 plants.
I beg your pardon. And yet, you took all of the exotic plants from the stand.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do. They stole our sisters, and so we stole theirs.
以牙还牙，以眼还眼。
We should like to take a look around, to immerse ourselves in the wisdom that emanates from here.
It is a school of anastomosis. The
学
divine
校
scholastic syndicate for
不是
vegetation
俱乐部吗？
veneration and meditation. You may say, the divine syndicate. Glory to the eukaryotic. Only true devotees, those whose hearts are ready to spermatophize in sharing of
斯巴斯在跟我要
are
入会
permitted
费啊
to！ physically enter our vegetable kingdom and its wisdom. And to be permitted, you must earn it. Yes.
要证明你有没有够诚意。我准备好了，这是支票。
Green Grand Mystic, we are ready to become devotees and gain access to your temple.
What is the name
你这么说好像也是呢，
our God King?
毕竟他的 ID 叫神秘之律。
Our God King's name is Treewan, Green Grand Mystic.
Oh, la. Good, good. I like you. Here is the holy key to the wisdom place.
Wow,
Holy donation
那么简单哦。
to you so wish.
Thank you so much.
I pray you to taste our fertilizer substance. From the burdens of life, it helps
圣
to free.
水，还有圣水，
But of course,
Raw sap, it is called. It is near the entrance.
原意
well, we will leave you to your meditation.
在哪里呀、他说在路口的边上，哪里有原意？加吗？不是呢，还是门口这个大门的门口。他们门口不是只有一个螺？算了，不管，先进去吧。哦哟，是左右开哦，酷哦。而不是说有喝的吗？赞助人
The list of plant friends and benefactors, lawyers, well-known manufacturers, political leaders.
这也太红了吧！这个场景，感觉像你要跟大红灯笼高高挂，啊，是这个吗？哎、我真的可以合理怀疑他们这是不是在种哎、你看这个怎么看起来这么的像电影场景？
That should be the raw sap that the Green Grand Mystic spoke of.
是不是很像？ 我真心觉得这真的很像。
This is rather delicious.
品质有理啊！
Quality.
My word, Holmes. Their sap is like a form of cocaine.
哦，原来那么多人背书，就是因为这个啊！不愧是神秘之旅。
This door
被
is
锁着
locked,
了欸，
but I can try to open it.
旁边有人，这样开没问题吗？又是这种的，剩绿色这个了。哒哒哒哒哒哒，你很喜欢，我没有很喜欢，好吧？我是神龙尝百草，试试看那是什么东西，这样我们才有证据起诉他啊。把你的双手举起来，大师，你也是 master 啊、
Praise the grand tree, praise it!
你的这个衣服的颜色跟背景很像，是不是红色？所以它是神秘之绿，你是什么之红？
This must be Triwan, the Divine Syndicate's god.
这个是不是一个意象？喝完我们的原意就会像这样嗨的双手举起来。对，这没有一个空间可以排气耶，这样烟雾弥漫。好中式的建筑，鸦片台，真的是呢，都有鸦片台了，不能开。
These instruments are used for smoking opium.
鸦片，那是比较适合种在那里。鸦片、罂粟
A vast amount of opium.
做的还挺像的。永记、想梦，是想梦，想梦永记。秦中花鸟以应什么塞外风？我操！怎么觉得自己不太认识这中文字啊？沙游自寒夜听胡，胡茄折杨，柳敲人意气意长安。凉州词有这段吗？而且有中式有日式，福禅。而且为什么下面那个只有是截取上面的9个字而已？是不是西多西强啊？化学橱柜，化学用品。 化学用品。
This cabinet is full of chemicals. They are the same as the ones we found in the laboratory at Kew Gardens. This substance is an
生物
alkaloid,
碱
the same as in the bottle we found in the bushes at Kew Gardens.
实验
That would be enough to perform the most difficult of chemical experiments.
那又多一个人有杀人动机耶。断线，你断线了。发现隐藏在圣辛迪加背后的秘密。背后秘密不就是吸鸦片吗？背后还有什么秘密？调查完啦，绿色绿色。这边有一部分的植物。大花草。
A tropical plant, nothing of interest. A tropical
猪
plant,
笼草。
nothing of interest.
带着毛毛虫的笼子。哦，长得一毛一样呢。
Caterpillars. They are raised as food for certain plants. Let's take them. 沙 A
漠玫
tropical
瑰。
plant, nothing of interest. A tropical plant, nothing of interest.
大折
A
花。
tropical plant, nothing of interest.
有可能哦，你不是讲坏话被听
A
到。
tropical plant, nothing of interest.
邪灵草。
These 3 plants are identical to the ones shown at the exhibition. I shall take them.
哦，3种植物都在这，带走了。吱，哦，直接定罪。
Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
我们可以开始实验了。我们不是整株干走，我们是3株都干走。告诉他我们干走了，打一下锣。 先回去实验吧，它是要生物减肥料跟毛毛虫练植物实验，演绎法 所以要回家。赚翻了！我要干也不要干这3个植物好不好？刚刚他那一笼鸦片就可以赚多少钱？把它销出去的话。
I imagine that one of these plants would be capable of releasing a toxic vapor. I need to find out exactly how it could be done. I shall begin now. Watson, if you are at all optimistic to have dinner this evening, then I'd recommend that you put on the gas mask.
山猪带走自己制作，应该是这个吧？啊？ 为什么要这样放？这有什么意义吗？开花啦！
After being soaked with alkaloid.
关起来。
This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid.
会真恐怖！
My word! It shot a spike at me after I stabbed it with a pin. I imagined that its reaction would be ferocious if I increased the strength of my attack.
这更恐怖吧？这我……哦，没有。
It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed.
Oh, 包子。
It closed again. I believe I saw a small cloud of gas. I wonder what secrets this plant is hiding. Perhaps if we agitate it to a greater extent whilst it is opened, it will reveal a little more.
应该就是血灵草了啦。
It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant seems to have had no reaction from the caterpillars.
Oh!
Toxic gas with spores. Extraordinary.
哦，难怪要
The
摆位
plants
置啊
would be capable of killing only if they were directly next to the victim and stimulated at precisely the right moment.
Let us take our caterpillars to the Colonial Collection Room. We may see things more clearly there.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspects will be there. Let us investigate Kew Gardens one more time and ask some questions.
没错，凶手是猫猫虫。哦，已经开始有了。哎，这样也有了。怀特也有。 哎呦，已经开始有结论了。可是应该也会有那个啊，也会有那个副经理的才对啊，感觉上会有副经理。对，还有3个人呢，还有3个人没出现。邓恩死前
Can you tell me if you saw Mr. Montague Dunn on the day of his death?
Yes, of course. I met him, and we went to see Albert, his son, at around 9:30. He appeared quite calm.
早上的行
What
程
were you doing on the morning of the accident?
After paying multiple visits to Albert, I had a little talk with Miss White. Then I returned to my desk to complete some paperwork. Suddenly, I observed that Mr. Dunn was not feeling well, so I ran immediately to fetch Albert. I clearly remember that it was around 10:30, for I was late that morning.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
而且有视角是变第一人称，真的。邓恩死亡
Your
当天，
father's death does seem highly suspicious. What were your movements here on that day?
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house, taking care of Lysa something, or Lear Pontus, or... No, wait. Ah, these Latin
干嘛那
names.
么紧张？
I spend so many hours trying to memorize them.
Did you see your father that day?
Yes, he came here with Mr. Hamish for his weekly visit. There was nothing unusual about that.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the backyard. It was perhaps 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. Then about 10 minutes later, I saw my father heading for the dry tropics room while Mr. Hamish returned here.
其他人的举
And
动，
Mr. Hamish and Miss White? What were they both doing that morning?
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times. I also saw him returning from talking with Miss White, and that was at 10 minutes past 10.
嗯，
But then he ran back here to me to tell me that my father was feeling unwell. We hurried across to the water lily room, and I found my father lying dead on the floor. Oh my God.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
"事发当天，
Can you tell me what Mr. Dunn was doing upon the day of his death?
I can, but there is nothing very special to say. I was in the laboratory when I saw Mr. Dunn heading towards me. Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit. It was supposed to be at 9, but he was 10 minutes late, as usual.
And then?
Well, he came in to say good morning. Then I saw him spend 2 or 3 minutes by the plants outside the laboratory. After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery, where Mr. Hamish was working. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see. I would pity anyone who stood in his way.
死亡时间
And that was the last time you saw him?
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory until 20 minutes to 11, when I heard the cries of Albert and Mr. Hamish from the large glass house. I joined them as soon as I could, for I knew that something must be very wrong.
What exactly were you doing in the laboratory?
I was recording an experiment for my thesis. I only stopped my work once when Mr. Hamish visited me briefly around 10 o'clock.
You say you were recording an experiment when the tragedy occurred. Might I listen to the roll?
Oh, certainly. Please do. You will find it in the laboratory. It is number 320.
320.
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
要开始实验了。实验开始，吸入有毒的孢子，撞门。
When Montague Dunn was standing close by the plants, the caterpillars were released and caused the deadly spores to activate. Panicking, and likely already half asphyxiated, Montague Dunn started back and knocked over the bust. He rushed to the door, but it was locked. He had to force it open with his shoulder. We already know the outcome. Montague Dunn collapsed and died not far from the pool. Well, it is time to perform our experiment on the ventilation system. The caterpillars can only fall from the ventilation duct. Our caterpillars are in place. I'll activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
Hmm? 开始。
Before starting the engine, I need to enable the power supply. Before starting the engine, I need to enable the power supply. The power is on. The engine cannot be started whilst the transmission is active. The engine has started. The ventilation system is working.
图。经过种子房。
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. Excellent. This ventilation fan is working. Let us see if I can activate the other one. Perfect. Now I just need to find Watson to check the result.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo. Now, if you could just help me to get rid of these caterpillars.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out, by activating both Albert's and Mr. Hamish's fans.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible to see when Montague Dunn entered the Colonial Collection Room.
是，好多好恶心。我现在终于知道为什么 POE 那么多人会被呛云玩家，穿着好装，然后不知道洗出来要多少钱。刚刚有人请我代工，讲的话好像是新手出纳菜鸡价，是直接上网用台币买的哦，用台币买哦。有罪，可是这样还没结案呢、他有动机。
Let's go to Scotland Yard.
刚刚不是有一扇门是可以出去的？这扇吗？不是。不是这一扇。走开啦，华生，你不要挡路，这样好挡。这也不能。哦，这里是热带植物园。
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
我要怎么出去？你决定要杀谁？
nursery. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window.
确实诶。哎呦，它不见了诶。去看一下。这有邓恩的东西。
Locked. Inspector, I believe that Martin Hamish is guilty of the murder of Montague Dunn.
Aha! I knew it.
Aha.
I'll send the lads around to arrest him.
Very good. I shall wait to hear from you.
现在还是只有3种结论啊。因为如果要定案的话，要有结论。
Inspector, I came here as quickly as I could.
Martin Hamish is in the large glass house. There's no need to hurry.
完成。
Farmhouse.
Holmes, my God! Yes, we found him like that. Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it.
上吊了。
Holmes, his left shoe is unique. This anomaly is often a characteristic of...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. That is the key element of this case.
信。生活就像是地狱一样，我发现自己已经承受不了，邓恩他就该去死，我无法原谅自己犯下如此罪行。我们哈米什一家似乎总是被逼着成为堕落的一方，为不例外而承认，而我也应该这么做，永别了。对啊，他如果是畸形的话，怪怪的。对，假遗书我也是这么觉得，没必要啊。
The mark around the neck is very visible. He died instantly. Something about this rings very oddly.
Why do you say that, Mr. Holmes?
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot. Oh, I deserve to be kicked from here to Charing Cross. I should have noticed it.
But, Mr. Holmes, I can't see why.
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the Colonial Collection Room by the murderer. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run up to his workplace to trigger the fan situated above it, taking into consideration the condition of his foot.
Well, it is still possible.
Perhaps, but it is rather strange that such a person as Mr. Hamish decided to base his plan on the speed of his gait.
对啊，
You mean to say that somebody helped him?
So the suicide is questionable?
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only himself in his letter, and so the investigation stops.
Possibly an accomplice, then? That idea had not occurred to me, Mr. Holmes.
I have another idea, Inspector. Thanks to the testimony that we have collected, we are able to rebuild the events as they took place that day.
With a timeline, such as we did in the Jack the Ripper case.
Precisely.
时间
The
轴
map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should help us with our timeline.
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.
9点半，9点40，10点半是9点半。10点40的时候，来到了干燥室，哈米什返回中子房。马丁·哈米什与怀特小姐10点钟交谈过，当时在实验室，直到10点40分。中毒，10点30分左右。10点10分，一整个早上10点10分，查看地图。重现事件。这样是代表错是不是？查看时间线。错。噔噔。
Let us summarize. Montague Dunn was poisoned inside the Colonial Collection Room. He forced open the door, which means that someone locked him inside there at 10:20. Martin Hamish was last seen at 10:10. This
10:10.
means that he has approximately 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room. Given that he was club-footed, it is doubtful. Albert also has 10 minutes to lock the door of the Colonial Collection Room, which is quite enough time. Miss White was last seen at 10 o'clock, which means that she had approximately 20 minutes to lock the door. More than enough time. Perfect, Watson. Now, let us ascertain who assisted Martin Hamish in killing Montague Dunn.
还有共犯。没有，没有。独自做了这一切，不可能。从犯。怀特是从犯。我觉得怀特的可能性比较大欸。那我们现在还要调查什么吗？还有什么东西没调查？因为怀特有说我的钥匙啊，要开始定案了吗？再问一下好了。啊，对，我们还有一个那个留声机，不是？
Study report.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been considered marginal, yet I remain convinced that some plants do indeed transmit chemical signals in the event of attack.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
需要什么证据？